a local football star from Evanston, Illinois, winning a Super Bowl with the legendary '85 Chicago Bears, playing for Coach Ditka. Also, a proud father who happened to have a son who won a Super Bowl, which at the time was the first time and very rare. He's a gentleman. He's a very successful entrepreneur in real estate, and philanthropy is a big part of his life. This is Emery Moorehead, Jr.
Emery Moorehead Jr. was born on March 22, 1954 in Evanston, Illinois. His football career began as an all-state running back at Evanston Township High School. At the University of Colorado, he showcased his versatility by excelling as both a running back and as a receiver. As team captain, he led the Buffaloes to a Big 8 championship as well as to the Orange Bowl. Emery graduated from the University of Colorado with a BA in communications and served as an officer of the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. Emery was drafted by the New York Giants in 1977 in the 6th round and continued to display his adaptability by playing both wide receiver and fullback. After spending the 1980 season year in Denver, he joined his hometown team, the Chicago Bears, under coach Mike Ditka. As their starting tight end, Moorehead achieved the pinnacle of success as a key member of the legendary 1985 Chicago Bears team with a Super Bowl XX victory. In 1988, after an impressive 7 consecutive years in Chicago, he concluded his illustrious 12-year NFL career. He retired with 224 receptions for 2,980 yards and 15 touchdowns. He also returned 31 kickoffs for 617 yards and rushed for 114 yards. Emery finished his career as the second leading receiver for tight ends in Chicago Bears history, behind Hall of Fame tight end Mike Ditka. More highlights from his NFL journey include leading the Bears in receiving in 1982, grabbing the NFC's longest pass in 1986 with 86 yards, and making 8 receptions for 114 yards in 1985 against the Tampa Bay Bucks for a career best day. In recognition of his achievements, Emery was inducted into the Chicagoland Sports Hall of Fame in 1999. In 2020, he was named one of the top 10 prep players from Chicago to ever play for the Bears. The Moorehead family football legacy extends to his personal life, where Emery achieved a unique feat alongside his son, Aaron Moorehead, a former 5-year pro with the Indianapolis Colts. They hold the honorable distinction of being the first father and son in NFL history to both play in and win a Super Bowl championship. Emery had a successful career in real estate with Koenig & Stray, attaining esteemed recognition, like the Certified Residential Specialist designation and the GRI designation from the Illinois Association of Realtors, as well as induction into Koenig & Stray's Elite President's Club. He was named Realtor Associate of the Year in 2006 and has held various leadership roles with the North Shore Barrington Board of Realtors and the Illinois Association of Realtors throughout his career. Emery's dedication to philanthropy shines throughout his involvement with numerous charities. As a Boy Scout in 1969, he earned the prestigious rank of Eagle Scout and was again honored with the Distinguished Eagle Scout Award in 2012, which is awarded to only 1 in 1,000 Eagle Scouts. Emery served on the board of Northeast Illinois Council of Boy Scouts until 2017, exemplifying his dedication to mentorship and leadership. Emery served as president of the NFL Players Association, retired Chicago chapter, for 3 years, during which the organization was awarded the 2006 Chapter of the Year under his leadership. Emery assumed the role of executive director of the Chicagoland Sports Hall of Fame, further cementing his impact on the sporting landscape in his hometown. Emery also serves on the board of the NFLPA Professional Athletes Foundation, which supports former players and focuses on their mental, physical, and financial well-being off the field. Emery is a versatile and respected speaker serving many colleges, universities, corporations, and organizations, sharing insights on teamwork, motivation, and football strategies. Emery spends his time between Chicago and Denver, enjoying time with his 2 adult children, Aaron and Kelly, and his grandchildren, Avari, Mason, and Aaliyah.
The Gridiron Greats are proud to welcome Emery Moorehead into their Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, you heard it all there. I don't know what to say, man. They just told you all about it, man. But I'd like to thank first Karen Wright for honoring me tonight. It was quite a surprise. And then when I saw the list of everybody coming, I'm like, you don't need me here tonight, man. You got a couple of Hall of Famers, Vince Papelli, who, I don't know if you remember, but shoot, I was on the Giants, man, when you was running down on kickoffs with the Eagle. And it just, my whole life, my whole career has always been about giving back. And we make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And yeah, it's for real. Give it back. And as I said there, I'm a local guy that came up through Evanston football and never was the best guy on that team, but ended up getting a scholarship to Colorado. They were number 3 in the country behind Oklahoma and Nebraska. The Big 8 was the SEC of the day. And I took myself out there, didn't know what to expect, but competed and played out there and ended up getting drafted by the Giants in the 6th round and played 3 years in New York. And like Steve Largent said, man, you were overpaid, Steve, because I signed a 3-year deal with the New York Giants for 28, 33, and 38, man. And you try to live on that in New York, man. Shoot. Tell you what, the drug dealers are making that in a week in New York, man. Shoot. That's the truth. That's the truth. But, I want to tell you a story. I know, there's a lot of Bear fans out there. And, yeah. And 1985 was really special. And I ended up getting cut I played 1 year in Denver in 1980 and then got cut. And my quarterback, who was running back kickoffs and backing up Walter Payton, that running back, Dave Williams, who you probably remember was the guy that ran the kickoff back Thanksgiving Day, shortest overtime in NFL history. Well, he said, sign Emery. And I came to Chicago. They signed me. And that first year was Neil Armstrong's was the head coach, and it was this last year. And Dicker came in the very next year. And I was a wide receiver. I was a kickoff returner. Wherever they lined me up, I said, I'll play. And then Dick and I had a talk, and they moved me to tight end, which literally changed my whole career. And ended up playing 12 years, 8 here in Chicago. And I'll tell you a story about Dick when we first got here. When Dick first got here, he came from Dallas. And Dallas at that time, early 80s, all through the 70s, they were the team that was an innovative team, and especially on offense because, they did the up and down thing, the linemen, and they went in motion, which for the Bears was a big step because all we did was Walter Payton right, Walter Payton left. Third down, we throw the ball to Walter Payton. That was pretty much our offense. And, Dicker comes in, and we're running this offense, and Buddy Ryan was hired before Dicker because the team went to George Halas and said, we got something going. And he said, we want to keep our defensive coordinator, and Dick agreed to keep him and the entire defensive staff because, he didn't agree. Let me put that, George Halas agreed, and the defense stayed. So we go into training camp the very first year, and we got all this new offense, and the defense had been running the same defense for several years, and they were way ahead of us, as most defenses are in training camp anyway. So well, this one particular day, we're not doing so great on offense, and Jim McMahon is our quarterback. We just got him. And Dicker calls Jim over to the sideline, and he goes, look, he said, I've never seen this offense run as bad as you guys are running it. So he says, I'll tell you what I want you to do. He says, on 1st and 10, he says, I want you to throw the blitz 73 right over the middle to Emery. And he said, Emery will probably drop the ball, he said. But he said, then 2nd down, he says, I'll tell you what, I want you to run the down and in. We had a guy by the name of Ricky Watts. And Ricky was a very fast receiver. He'd run 70 miles an hour, but his brain was about 100 miles an hour. And he was always way ahead of the play. He says, run the down and in to Ricky. And he said, Ricky will probably drop it as well. And he said, on 3rd down, and when we had these scrimmages against the Bears, we never had Walter Payton. He wouldn't let Walter play because he didn't want Walter to get hurt. So we had 3rd down back. His name was Dennis Gentry. We called him Pinky. And Gentry ended up being a wide receiver, a 3rd down draw, swing guy on the passes, kind of like the guy from Miami today, not Tariq Cohen, but the guy down in Miami who played for Kansas City that does everything. Yeah, Hill. And he was kind of like that. And he said, we're going to run a draw to Pinky, he said. And then Pinky will get us 2 or 3 yards. He says, then, it'll be 4th down. He said, I tell you what, Jim. He said, I want you to stay in the game and punt the football. And so Jim comes back to the huddle, talks to us. He says, look, we're going to show that guy. And I can tell this because Dicker ain't here, and he'd be pissed off if he was here. But he said, what we're going to do. So Jim said, we're going to run this first play to Emery over the middle. So I line up. I'm all jacked. I come out, go over the middle of the field. It's just like Dicker said, I dropped the ball, man. I couldn't believe it. And 2nd down and 10, he comes out. We're going to throw the pass to Ricky, down and in. And Ricky comes out. Otis Wilson, our linebacker, great, fast linebacker. He jets out from the outside, kind of hits Ricky. Ricky's spinning. He comes over the middle. Samurai, Singletary's right there. Big old eyes, glowing, ready to knock the crap out of Ricky. Hits him, spins him around. Ricky gets up. He's looking out the ear hole of his helmet. Jesus. 3rd down and 10. And so we run the draw to Pinky. And Pinky comes up the middle. He cuts to the right. Defense is all pursuing to the left. He loses them all. He hits the corner, heads down the sideline at the 5-yard line. He jumps. It looks like an apparent touchdown when he hit the cone, but they put it on the 1-yard line. And McMahon lines us up in punt formation. And he punts the ball all the way through the end zone, way back where the band would have been. And then their first confrontation on the sideline, he comes over to see Dicker. And Dicker says, Jim, he says, what in the heck were you thinking about when you punted on the 1-yard line? And he said to Dicker, he says, I'm thinking what a dumbass coach I had. So, but that was their first of many, many, many confrontations. And but tonight, it's a very special evening. And, we could talk football all night and new stadium and all that. But tonight is about giving. And we're here to celebrate a night of giving. And sometimes you give your time, sometimes you give your money. And this organization, as everybody has said tonight, means so much to so many people. And I've served on a lot of board of directors, the YMCA, the FCA, Boy Scouts of America, NFLPA. But it's the Boy Scouts that really got me going in giving, because there are so many things that you learn as a young man, how to be trustworthy, how to be prepared. And that's, stuff you learn that you need for your whole life, helpful and kind. But setting goals, it was a big thing for me to set goals. It was the first time I set a goal to get an Eagle Scout, and I got it. But I have to tell you, I played 12 years. And when I retired on Saturday, the Boy Scouts called me on Monday. And they said, look, if you got something out of the Boy Scouts, you were Eagle Scout, and what do you got to do? And that's put something back into the program. So if any of you all got anything, put something back into the program. If you had some success, you had some good memories, always put something back. And what this organization does is they're reaching guys up, as Bob said, they're reaching back, or Mike, I'm sorry, I know your brother, man. Yeah, I was looking at you, man, I said, I think that's named Bob, man, but he's a little thinner than Bob. And, if you got something out of something, you want to give something back. And this organization started with Jerry Kramer of the Packers, and then Mike Dicker took it over, and of course it blew it up, because Mike knows everybody. And when Mike Dicker calls, you give, because that's what he does. And I can tell you many a time about Mike Dicker's generosity, his selflessness, and his love for others that are less fortunate. And I remember, man, when Dicker had the restaurant downtown Chicago, I'd go in there, man, with friends, and I'd sit there and have dinner, and I'd get ready to pay the bill, and the waiter would say, Mike heard you're in here. He said, he got this. And he did that. I did it a second time, and it was the same thing. He said, I got this. I remember where Jim Covert and I, one time when he had the place on, I think it was Ohio, the first Dicker's restaurant, and on Monday night they had Monday Night Football, and Jimbo and I went down there. We were still active players at that time, and I said, Jimbo, Dicker don't care, man. Let's get the Dom Perignon, man. And we got the Dom Perignon, drank a couple bottles. We come back to practice on Wednesday. He didn't say a word. He didn't say a word, man. He was, and I figured since I was his Jimbo, because Jimbo from Pennsylvania, Dickett from Pennsylvania, I'm good. I'm good. And other times, I remember one time I was down in Florida, and I was playing golf, and I called Mike, and Mike said, go over there to Old Florida. You can play over there. And he said, I come in the clubhouse, and the guy goes, yeah, Coach Dicker got anything you want here? I said, can I get some clubs? And I didn't get him, though. But that's the kind of guy is Mike Dicker. He's always helping people that are less fortunate than him. And, the whole thing with retired players, and like I said, a lot of guys, everybody, like was said earlier, that everybody thinks because you play football, you must be a millionaire. And it's not like that. And some guys, the younger guys today, they come in, they ask for help. They might have been spending money, trying to support their family, all the hanger-on, and before you know it, they don't have any money. Because, even though you make a lot of money today, if you're supporting your family and your friends and everybody, and you're only playing 2 years, you're done. You're done, and that happens all the time. And they think they can hang like the guys that are making a lot of money, but you're not that guy. And so they come to organizations like Gridiron Greats, and then you have older people that their issues are more health issues. They can't pay the medical bills that they're getting. And again, they apply to Gridiron Greats, and they get approved, and it's a godsend for their family. And so we all really need to think about what we're here tonight to do, and that's to support a heck of an organization. So really, assisting guys, to help build the sport that what it is today, not when they were playing, but now we're all walking with canes and trying to get around the best we can. So as Muhammad Ali once said, service to others is the rent you pay for the time here on earth. So I would like to thank Karen again for having me, and really reach in your pockets, get back there, buy some things. If not, just write a check, man. We don't care. It's all good. Thank you very much.